One day, Thomas was at Normanby Harbor waiting for his cars to be loaded and taken to Nefford Harbor for Henry's flying kipper train. The crane, however, was taking a long time to load onto Thomas's car. Thomas was beginning to grow worried that he might run late again. Over 20 years ago, though, he was running late because as a crate of fish had fell on top of him, and then after that, while he was on his way, a bad bit of river right in front of the lighthouse near the beach wasn't safe, which made him run late. "Please hurry," said Thomas. "I don't want to be late again. Henry won't like this at all." But then it all happened again. "Oh, not again," cried Thomas. The driver and fireman thought it was a little bit funny, but Thomas thought it wasn't. "No worries, Thomas. We'll get you all cleaned up in no time," said the driver. As soon as Thomas was all cleaned up, he set it off. As Thomas arrived near the lighthouse, right in front of the siding where he had his accident when Arthur arrived, he saw a lighthouse keeper. "What's going on?" asked Thomas's driver. "There's a bad bit of rail up on the line ahead," said the lighthouse keeper. "It's not safe for a big engine like Henry, but for Thomas, it's safe enough." "Very well," said the driver. "We'll contact the harbor manager at Nefford Harbor at once," said the driver. "All right," said the lighthouse keeper. And as the driver went back on board Thomas steamed away. Thomas soon arrived at the bad bit of rail. He remembered the time when he brought the cars to Brendan Knox. He went over the bad bit of rail. "Here, the lighthouse keeper is right," said Thomas. We really do have to warn the harbor manager." And he steamed away. At the harbor, Henry wasn't cross that Thomas was late. He was actually concerned. "Thomas should be here by now," said Henry. "I wonder what's keeping him up." At last, Thomas arrived. "Sorry I'm late, Henry," said Thomas. A crate of fish fell on me again, and I was halted because there was a bad bit of real up on the Normanby branch line again, too. Yeah, that is a very much understandable reason why, said Henry. Ever since I've noticed the bad bit of real after that accident I had those years ago, I felt bad for being so rude to you and for blaming you for being late. "Yeah," said Thomas. I'll get my cars hitched to your train." And with that, Thomas let it go, shoved the freight cars in the back of Henry's train. As Thomas was finished rearranging Henry's cars, Thomas's driver and fireman spoke to the harbor manager. "Which route is Henry taking tonight?" asked the driver. "The route that goes through Ballyhoo. It's the quickest." "No, wait," said the driver. "If the cinnamon accidentally switches Henry onto the long line to Normanby, he might crash into the bad bit of rail." Oh. Then Duck arrived. He had some very bad news. "There's been a report of a thunderstorm coming tonight this way," he said. Thomas and Henry were very surprised. "What? You are not serious," they both said. "What about the flying kipper?" said Henry. "I don't know," said Duck. "You're probably gonna have to get the job done through the storm." Henry wasn't sure if he wasn't going to do it. He remembered the time when he pulled the express. He got stuck in the tunnel. No, because of the rain he was afraid of. "I'll try my best," said Henry. "I won't let any raindrop or any lightning sounds stand in my way." "That's a brave engine," said Duck. "Yes," said Thomas. And with that, Duck and Thomas set it off back to the sheds quickly. Henry knew that really useful engines work hard whenever the weather. Meanwhile, The harbor manager went to go tell the signalman about Henry and the flying kipper approaching Ballyhoo. Make sure Henry doesn't go on the line that leads to Normanby Branch Line. There's a bad bit of rail on the line there. Don't worry, said the signalman. I got that all under control.